The metaphor for life itself, like, I think all throughout life, God is, bro, we are God, yeah, and occupying our own individual realities, right? We've come here for whatever reason, we don't know. We just know that we've come here to have a human experience. There was a reason why our characters got chosen to play us. Now, the crazy thing is, with that in play, so I think the game itself is designed to kind of trick God to see how much God can be taken off center. That's the point of the game, I think. So all of our attachments, all our worries, anxieties, all these fears and things like that, there is one common denominator in all of them, and that's it takes us off center. It takes us away from the present moment, right? It takes us into the world of illusion. And the world of illusion, as I've described before in the experience, imagination, feedback loop thing, we end up creating realities we don't want, because fear is not real. It's not a thing. You can't touch it. It's not tangible. It's not there. The same applies to worry and all these other concepts, right? So in essence, we end up basically kind of, there are kind of like boogeymen, like things that don't really exist, that get us to create realities that don't exist, for us to go and occupy those realities, because us being the operant power, if we remain like centered and focused on the destination, those things wouldn't actually be a factor at all. It would be a very straightforward experience. Do you know what I mean? So with that in mind, it kind of highlights the very kind of core of this life experience, because the very core of this life experience is we need to remain centered at all times in our power, because when we are not centered in our power, we then fall into the world of illusion, thereby losing our power as God to shape reality. Because when we create a reality that is tainted or colored by fear or worry or doubt, indecision, anxieties, and all these sorts of things, we have created a limited experience for consciousness to experience. Does that make sense? Because we've created an experience where we are not all powerful. So therefore, when we go into that experience, we're gonna experience powerlessness, and it will just keep creating more and more of those things. So it becomes like a never-ending feedback cycle. But in truth, no matter what the storm is, no matter how crazy the waters get, no matter how mad life gets, like, bro, the crazy thing is, like, bro, all of us here, if you're here, you know the deal. All of us here have been through some mad shit, bro. All of us, bro. If you're here at this point, like, all of us have seen some mad shit, heard some mad shit, experienced some mad shit. Like, there's all these crazy stories in our bodies, in our human suits. Yeah. But I think that's all part of it. It's like, it's designed that way. It's like, okay, and I think that's what makes the experience even more entertaining for consciousness. It's like, okay, I'm gonna give you all these things that have the ability to pull you away from your godhood. Now try and remain centered at all times, and be still and know that I am God. That is the key, because it's like, if you, the best way I can explain is like when you're in a nightmare, or those of us have been through like near-death experiences and stuff like that. Like, you close your eyes, like it's gonna happen, the dragon's gonna eat you, or something's gonna happen, and then you tense up. Yeah, it's like all the tension, and all that stuff's gonna happen. Nothing actually happens. Like, you literally, the thing happens, and then you come out the outside and you're like, oh, it actually wasn't that bad. Like, There was one personal experience I had, like, I was afraid of speaking my truth about something in my personal life. I was scared. I was like, oh, what's gonna happen? Oh my god, what is gonna happen? This is gonna happen, this is gonna happen, and my life's gonna be over. And like, when I faced my dragon, bro, or my demon, bro, like, it literally just was like, oh, the next day, like, nothing was and that in itself was like mind-blowing for me. Like, I was like, wow, okay, so nothing actually happened. So stillness, being still, man, is key, because the ego mind, the animalistic mind, will always try and pull you into stories, bro. And especially when you got kids. I got kids, and it's hard because you love them and you want to, because even though you're present, your kids are growing, so you're constantly looking to the future for them. You want to try and, but that's another thing I need to say to all parents. We can't live life for our kids, bro. We can't do that. It's literally an impossibility. We can't do that. It's our kids are consciousness in human form, just like we are. Yeah, and they have their own paths, they have their own lessons, they have their own experiences. We can't control anything. The more you try and control it, the more it kind of yields stupid results, and unhappy results. And generally, when you release and you just let life happen and let life flow, like, your parenting will improve. And also, apart from your parenting, they will also get a better experience, because then life is flowing, So it's like, anyway, back to the parent thing, because it's like you're constantly worrying about the future for them, and okay, but what if I need to do, but you kind of need to drop all those stories as well, because as much as you can remain present in your personal life, your kids, as much as they're your personal life, they are also attachments, like real life. So you kind of also need to not release the attachment to them. Of course, you love them, yes, and they chose to spawn through you. Consciousness chose to do that. I've said this before. Consciousness just spawns itself. It doesn't causes itself. It doesn't. You didn't bring them into the world. They brought themselves here through you. And that's the whole story. So with that in mind, it's like, you can't. We don't own their experience. Their experiences are unique in their own way. But if you're present and you're still, and you just let life flow, come what may, just let life flow. Life will flow so smoothly. It will also affect them, because it's all part of the grand tapestry, But anyway, that's just something I was thinking about today. So yeah, man, I know it's not easy, but being conscious, that's not easy, bro. But actually, at the same time, it's the easiest thing in the world. It's fucking crazy. The paradox. Anyway, that's it.